So before we start, I just want to say I was going to make this video a lot earlier, but I wanted to wait for the announcement that we've all been waiting for. So now that it's been announced, I felt like I should do a little art fight recap. First off, congratulations Team Crystal. We really pulled through. So I finished with a battle ratio of 55.56, which is baller. It's a lower ratio than other years, but in total I did 15 attacks, with 5 of them being revenges. I was able to avenge all but one of the attacks I received this year due to it being posted the final day while I was working, so next year. Every year it feels like I do less and less for art fight, but this time around I was actually able to do more than I've been able to do since 2022 when I first started. And mind you, I was working full time, so I was a little bit surprised when I counted up all of my attacks and realized that I've done more than I have for the past 3 years. I came home completely drained every night, and I only had time to do attacks on the weekends, though I did do a couple traditional attacks while I had the spare time at work. Speaking of traditional, halfway through the month I wasn't really feeling digital anymore, at least not on my desktop or for sketching anything, so I turned to my trusty old sketchbook. I thought about fully coloring and rendering attacks traditionally, but ended up going to my old tablet program, which was refreshing. Or at least it was! Until I was hit with 1 billion unskippable ads that even offline would pop up. I even tried to close out of the app to try and bypass the ads, but this only made them longer. So I learned to quickly just let the ads play. I can see the improvements in some areas, and I'm really proud of myself for certain aspects of the attacks I did. I also find it kind of funny that you can see the difference between the tablet and desktop drawings I did. The brushes I use for both programs are basically the same, but transferring between the two look very different. And I love that, actually. And of course the traditional pieces I did have their own look to them. Moving on to some discourse I saw on other platforms, I don't particularly want to get too deep into any of it because, let's be honest, there is a lot of it, especially on TikTok. The main two that I saw were entitlement from users who wouldn't attack others but expected to be attacked, especially in the first few days when everyone's still settling into the event, and misrepresentation where people would upload a ton of very low effort drawings in a short amount of time. And while some people found this cute or funny, many didn't, for obvious reasons. And along with that, there were some other issues and takes made by users, but as the platform grows every year, we're gonna gain a few more bad apples. It's just how it is. On my end though, there was a lot of positivity, and I'm eternally grateful for that. One thing I noticed on the art fight page is that it's no longer labeled an art trading game, but rather an art gifting game. You know, as it should be played. I'm actually so glad that the owners and developers put so much work into updating the site this year because it went so much smoother than I thought it was going to be. Searching for both users and characters was a lot easier for me, and I didn't even have to make a custom thumbnail for each attack. I could just use the image and resize it within Art Fight to get what I wanted. And borders! I ended up making simple borders for each year that I've done art fight and used them to decorate my attacks, which made my profile look so much more cohesive and, in general, cooler. If anyone would like to use them, let me know and I'll add them to my website for anyone to use. I have one for 2022 Team Bloom, 2023 Team Vampires, 2024 Team Stardust, and this year's Crystals. Now that all the speed paints I had from Art Fight are uploaded, we will be back to the usual content very soon. I have like 4 books to talk about, along with some other projects that I want to play around with. So, until then,